Alright guys, hello and welcome to, this is going to be, I guess, the second tutorial in my series of that central around making video games, using Unity, all that jazz. So today, someone has requested that I make a beginner series for Unity. And I think that's a good idea, so I'll make one. But why don't we start from the very, very beginning? And this is going to be more of from a design standpoint than a programming standpoint. As people may know, may or may not know, there are more than one. There's a lot of jobs in the industry. Let me say this: there's a lot of jobs in the industry, and you could be more than one thing. There's programmers, artists, and designers. I think that's like the main three. And then there's like little subcategories, sub jobs underneath that. But there's three main ones. The artists make the game look good, look pretty. They make sure that poly count is low so the game runs smoothly. That's the artist's job. Designers just put everything together. They put sound in. They put the art together. They put everything together so that you can play the game. They do level design, UI design. They do all that kind of stuff. And then you got the programmers that do all the coding. So they make sure things actually run. Like they put in the coding for certain things to happen. They put in triggers and hotspots. That's what they do. But so I'm looking at more of a designer standpoint because I'm an artist. So I do art too. I can do art tutorials if you want. And I'm studying how to do video game design right now. But I know the most about design. So that's where I'm kind of looking at it from. I'm not going to be really doing any like programming. Someone's requested for me to do programming tutorials. I don't know a lot about programming. I don't feel like I would be a good teacher for that. I feel like there's other people who probably do like that sort of thing better than I would. So this is going to be from a designing standpoint of how to start off your game. So we're going to go over prototyping in this video. So we're not going to really, because there's like more than one stages of game development. The first one's conceptual, where you come up with the idea, you come up with the concepts, you do the art, you get everything kind of, it's like the brainstorming stage, and then you go into prototyping. We're skipping conceptual. That could be for a different video, but like making a concept for your game, thinking of a concept for your game requires a whole other list of things you need to do. So we're just going to do prototyping. I'll show you like the programs I use to do prototyping and all that jazz. So I am making a game right now, and when I started the game about like a year and a half ago to 2 years ago. And it was just to learn how to do it. That was the whole point of this game. It's just to learn how to do it and get it on itch.io. And I have learned a lot from that process of the 2 years that I've done it. So I'm going to tell you guys what I've learned. That way you guys can avoid certain things or do certain things better than what I did. One thing that I have learned is don't make your game long. My game is 2 hours long, or maybe an hour. 2 hours might be too long. I think it's like an hour. And that's even too long, which at the time I thought was too short because I was seeing all these Steam games that were like 6 hours long. And I realized after I made my game that even an hour is too long because there's games on itch.io, and I could give like a list of examples, or we could just go to itch.io actually. itch.io right here. So this is itch.io. I got a comment from someone. I'll look at that later. So here's itch.io. And they have all these games that's made by, like, some are professional, some are like AA games. But like most of them are done by like new developers like you and I. And a lot of these are like only like 5 minutes long. Like Bendy the Ink Machine I think is 20 minutes, but most of them you can complete in like maybe 10 minutes. And I think that's a good goal for your first game, because you can get that done within like a couple of months, maybe even like sooner than that. Some people have made a game in 24 hours. And I think that I really do think that's the way to go for your first game, because for the game I'm working on now, I'm working on it for like a year and a half, And by the end of it, I hated this game. I can't stand looking at it. And it's not because it's a bad game. It's just that I've been looking at it for so long. So to avoid that, I recommend, honest to God, I just recommend making a shorter game. So those are a couple things to keep in mind when you come up with a game. Maybe do a game jam. There's several games. There's like a list of game jams on itch.io somewhere. And game jams are pretty much like you get together with a few other people and you make like a short game. Those are good too. But so that's tip number 1. And after you come up with your 5 to 10 minute game, which is really what you should be doing. Can't say that enough. And so okay, so you already got the concept down. You got like the outline of your story. You got characters. You kind of get the gist of it. So you're ready to get started. You're sitting down. And you're like, okay, I am ready to start making this game. So the first thing you want to do is for this tutorial, we are going to do a prototype for one of my characters, because I want to make Granny Joe into a game. And I really do. That's not for this tutorial. I want to make Granny Joe into a video game. And I want to make a prototype for the villain's room, the main villain. Okay. So I want to do a layout of this room, and I want to build it. So we're gonna do a prototype of it. So the first thing you want to do for a prototype, this is what most people do, is that you draw either in Photoshop or with the pencil and paper. You draw out like a basic layout of how you kind of want the room to go. And I forgot to plug in my tablet, so I'm gonna be doing those with mouse and keyboard, so that'll be fun. But so I'm gonna build a basic layout of a villain's room for a prototype. Alright, we're gonna use Photoshop. So I'm gonna speed this up. Alright, so I've drawn out a little prototype of my villain's room for my Granny Joe game. And I just picked this room arbitrarily. And I drew it out. And the reason why game developers often draw out all the levels to their games for their prototype is because that's the easiest way to do it, to brainstorm and get things down. And it's also like the most practical, because it's far harder, because like often what people want to do, and to be fair, I wanted to do this too, is they just kind of want to jump in their game. They just want to start like making 3D assets for it. They want to start putting that 3D assets in, and they just want to start building their epic game. And that's understandable, but it's really important to kind of get your ideas down on paper or somewhere first. That way you have like a visual to look at, and trust me, it makes life way easier. I did not do that for my first game because I didn't know better, and then I had to redo levels completely because I just didn't plan ahead of time. I had to redo them like twice, and then like really put a bind. Like there's one level in the game, which I could probably show you. I'll get it loading as we do this. There's one level in particular where I just like didn't plan it, and it was just like a huge pain in the ass. It took forever to get it going, and so to avoid that, it's really important to get your ideas on paper. So once you have your like a scribble of how your level wants this to be, and it could look like this. Like, it does not have to be beautiful. That's not the point of this. The point of this is not to make a masterpiece of an image. The point of it is just to kind of jot something down. So we got like 2 dressers right here, a bed, another. These aren't dressers. This right here is a cabinet, dresser, plant, or some kind of decorative thing. Bathtub, if I want to have the bathtub, maybe a shower, and then counters. And his bathroom is going to be connected to his bedroom through here. So here's like a very quickly jotted down. So this is actually the level that I did not plan. And it caused a lot of problems. Like a whole lot of problems. So I'll show it to you after it loads. It takes forever to load on Unity because I have, that level takes forever to load in Unity because I just imported. That is loud. Oh, whatever. Is there a way to mute this? There you go. So, I imported recently like this giant library of animations from Unity just to look at them, and there's so many of them that it actually slows down the load time for my game. So that'll be fun to figure out when I build it. But alright, so I didn't prototype this level at all. And I just went in. And it caused so many, it was significantly worse than it was now. And there were so many problems with it. Things like frame rate. Like I would get to this point, I'm going to walk past this policeman. He's going to start trying to talk to me. Yeah, I got it. Okay. So what would happen was I would get to this point right here. I'm going to get to these stairs. And the frame rate would drop to like 7. And I was like, what? So I had to figure out why that was happening. And then all this yellow tape was on here. Like you could actually explore this side of the you could explore that side of the house. But Michelle played it and was like, and that part was just so poorly planned. Michelle played this level and was like, you don't even need this side of the house, this side over here. She's like, just take it out or cut it off, you don't need it. And I was like, oh, okay. So she's like, put this yellow tape here, and I was like, alright. So I did that. Sorry you can't get over there. But yeah, there was this one glitch where my character would, oh, she kind of did it. Let's see if we can get her to do it. I may not fix the glitch. So we need to talk to Jean. Yup, she did it. You see that glitch? If you do prototyping, you can try and avoid that kind of stuff. Can I walk on this? Ah, damn. Okay, so this is the glitch I'm glad I found in this because now I forgot to fix it. And I tell you, I would have probably have launched this and like completely forgotten about it. And then someone would have been like, some YouTuber would have been like, Joe or Granny Joe or Heather, because my real name's Heather. There's a glitch in your level where your character jumps. So I need to keep that note because Michelle told me about the glitch and I forgot about it. So can I get out? Oh, there you go. I laughed so hard when I first ran into that glitch. I thought it was so funny. Like, I was talking, I'm going on a tangent, but I was talking to, like, because I just reviewed this game, and this developer was, like, saying that they had tested their game on multiple computers before they launched it, and that there's no problems on the multiple computers. So he wasn't taking the problem, it didn't really feel like to me, he was taking the glitch that I ran into very seriously, because he had tested it on computers beforehand. And I'm like, well, it doesn't really matter. You can test your game on as many computers as you want. If there's a problem on someone's computer, if someone runs into a glitch, they ran into the glitch. There's something you can do about that. Glitches are so easy to run into. Glitches are easy to make. Glitches are easy to forget about. Like, if you just saw this glitch, it happens. I can sit here and be all embarrassed, but it's just a thing that happens. Like, if you forget something. She got, like, big or something. It just happens. People make mistakes. Just take it seriously and fix it. Oh god, that's fun. Okay, so let's see if there's no, I think there's also another glitch over here. I'm gonna show you this glitch. So like this part is a little bit. Oh, god, at least she's stuck again. So many problems with this level. This is the only level. Nav mesh is fucked up too. The pathfinding is also messed up. So do you see how much of a hard time she's having getting through this door? Come Come on, get through it. I'm gonna have to fix all of this. I'll fix it before I get in there. Do you have to see how much of a hard time she's having? She can't get like around these cabinets. She's having a hard time. If you prototyped it. Hint: if you prototype, this won't happen. So we see how I messed up. I'm not ashamed of it. You see how I did this, and it wasn't a good idea. It just wasn't a good idea. But if I had planned it, this wouldn't happen. So you see an example. All right. So what you would do from this point, after you draw out your scene, is that you would, actually, let me get this stuff. My email, which has nothing on it. After you draw it out, you would make like a digital prototype. There's more than one way of doing it. You can start off by just opening up Unity and throwing some boxes in. That's what most people do. But there are also games out there with fantastic customization. What else is there? Some fantastic options for customizing characters and buildings and stuff that are just wonderful. And some people will build prototypes in there. Just because it's like a pre-done game, you can just play it immediately. It's immediate gratification. Some people will do prototypes with D&D. Like, they'll turn it to a D&D campaign to see how the game would be like in real time. You know, but here, an example is Minecraft. Like, you've got Minecraft, and your game's kind of like Minecraft. Or it has the same view as Minecraft. It's more expensive than what it was. Anyway. So, if you have a game with the first person or third person and you got Minecraft, you can just build like a real quick prototype in Minecraft. Invite your friends to come in, they jump in, they play it, they run around in your levels, they tell you what they think, and you know, you have yourself a prototype. I would just go into Minecraft, but I don't have Minecraft. We got Black Desert for character designs. It's like if you have a character idea you want to do and you want to see how that character will look like in 3D, you can get this game, or I think you can get like it for free for 7 days. Yeah. You can just download it and build some characters. There's some characters right here. You know, you can see them. But people make all kinds of characters in Black Desert Online, and then you can use that as an example. You know, just to kind of look off of to see how your character will look in 3D. There is this. What is it called? Builder. See if we can find. Yeah, there you go. I knew that would work. I think this is it. Yeah, and then there's this program where you can just like it helps you build rooms, design rooms. You build a prototype that way. How do I do this again? This was so long since I've done this. Yeah, you just like you put like rooms in, and you put furniture in. It's called Room Styler. Window. There you go, there's the window. Architecture, stairs. There's like more than one type of program that's like this too. There's like another one, I forget what it's called. You can just look it up. Like they put this in the search. Here's the couch. So you can just like put. Can I get into 3D? Oh yeah, you can. What was that? See, and then you get like a 3D representation, so you can build a prototype that way if you want just to do a quick one. And an important thing to keep in mind, I gotta re-say this to really make sure you guys understand. When you do physical prototype and you use like a program like this or like a game to make your prototype so other people can play it and you can get feedback, do not steal the assets. I can't say that enough. If you make a Minecraft prototype, do not steal the Minecraft prototypes. Don't just make a second Minecraft. That's not a good idea. You will get in trouble. Do not do it. Just use it as inspiration and just to get feedback. I cannot say that enough. Do not steal these assets. Another one that I use often is The Sims. I think it's a fun way of coming up with a prototype. You can just build a room, put some Sims in there, see how they react. For this video, we're going to be using The Sims because I think that's going to be the most fun for this kind of video. Again, I cannot say this enough. Do not steal The Sims assets. Do not build a room and then make a bed that looks exactly like that. Don't. It's a bad idea. Don't do it. This is for the fun of it. Don't ruin it by stealing assets. It's not cool, guys. So I'm gonna build like a little room for you guys. Just a quick little room for a prototype, and then we'll talk from there. All right. Okay, now that the room is done, we can just put some Sims in there just to see how like characters should react with the space. These are some of the characters from the game. Dark Smoke is included. I did not include Granny Joe, even though I did make Granny Joe in The Sims. I make my characters in The Sims for no other reason than I am a giant nerd dweeb, and I just like to make my characters in The Sims. That's literally the only reason. So yeah, this is Scott. She's one of the characters. Here's Vince Harrent, and then Dark Smoke's Ace, which is the villain. The main villain, Dark Smoke. She names himself Dark Smoke because he's like has a brain of a 14-year-old. He doesn't literally have the brain of a 14-year-old. He's just immature. So, all right. So these guys are done. I'm just gonna put them in. So whatever, Dark Smoke, yeah. So we're gonna put them in and see how they react to space. Now, oof. I can put the sheet, don't I? Do I need to put the sheet? The room cannot be that expensive. Is the room really that expensive? Oh, that's because they're being put in this house. I don't put them in this house. Wait, why? I don't put them in this house. Why? Why did that happen? I don't put them there. It's really that room's 50. Wow, Ace has an expensive house. Can I put the cheat here? Let's see, free real estate on that. That's cheat. Okay. So I guess Ace just has a ridiculously expensive room. Alright, so here you go. No. That was weird. So furnished. I can't play it? Okay. I thought it was automatically going to bring me in there. I realized there is no sound. Nah, that's fine. Whatever. We don't need sound for it. We don't need sound in this. So, like, now that they're in there, you can see, oh, I didn't give them a door. See, like, and I purposely, like, so there's a couple problems with this. So you can see it, like, finished. There's a couple problems with this, but I'm purposely not going to fix it. Oh, I put the door. So that you guys can see, like, if there's any, like, problems that we get run into when they walk into this. So when we make, like, a digital prototype like this, like, there's a couple things that you would look out for. Like, one thing would be, like, space. Can they all walk around in the room without getting stuck in any areas? Is there too much space? Like, does it take the Sims too long to get from one into the other? And all that jazz. And another cool thing about the Sims and anything that's kind of like this is that then you could be like, you can think about like who your character is. You can think about like, oh, what kind of stuff would the character have on the cabinets? Like, what kind of decorations would he have? Like, Ace, the villain, is really obnoxious, and he just is like a child. So he'd have all these like crazy things like on the walls. He'd have this like something like this, you know. He would have all this stuff, and he also like would be into culture appropriation. So he would have like probably Asian looking lights and stuff. So I could see him totally doing that. So they can all fit in the room fine. But all they're really doing, you can see what they're talking to each other, which is fine, which is good. They're just chatting, but you can pay attention to that. But they also the only thing they could do is like watch TV. So we're missing something, right? They're not really doing all the stuff you would do in a room. I think they're missing a computer. So the only area we can put a computer is right here. So let's see if we can put a computer. Now you have to think to yourself, now would this character have a computer in his room? And I don't know, actually. I'm not, because I can imagine Dark Smoke just having a laptop and carrying a laptop around. But I also feel like he'd be kind of lazy, and that he would have I could also imagine being kind of lazy. That looks cute. I feel like he does something like that. Or something like that. That's very... Ah, he can have it. He can't have that. Let's have to unlock it. See, I feel like this is still too big. I feel like that's like too much in the room, right? I feel like that's very childish. This, whatever this is. Let's do that. But you can, like, yeah, so you can kind of think about this stuff and figure out, like, what exactly... And we'll see if they get stuck, if they can actually, like, get to all these things. See, I want this chair, but I don't want to do the cheat, because... For no other reason than... just take too much time. What's this? Let's do that. Nah, I don't think you'd have that actually. You'd probably have it out. Somewhere else. Just do something generic. Let's do that one. And then we can see if he can sit there. And then he's like, can he do the essentials? So we'll be Ace. Let's say, like, can he sleep here? If he will even sleep. Scott's kind of needs to get the hell out of the way. Let's see if he can actually get... Yeah, he can. And then, let's see if Vince can use this computer without... So, and the reason why this is kind of good is because, do you remember how Jade had problems getting around counters? If you did a prototype like this, or you did boxes in Unity, or you did, some of the other options I said, then you could just do something like, or if you had your friends play with you, if you did Minecraft and you had your friends help you, then what you could do is you could just, say, hey, can you talk to your friend and be like, hey, can you, like, try to get in that bed, or try to craft or something, and if they can't get to it because there's not enough spaces, then you can fix it. So everybody can use this fine. You can see this space is a good space. I'm putting Ace in there. Yeah, I mean, like, I feel like this is a good space. I feel like you'd have just about this big of a closet. So it's like, okay, so we have it basics down. I think it works. What I would normally do is actually have these Sims live here for, like, well, with the kitchen, because there's a kitchen, they don't have food, but have them, like, interact in the space for, like, a day in Sims time, just to make sure they can do everything they need to do, so I'm not forgetting anything. And I would just have them do that and see, like, if I forgot anything, or maybe the space is too big or something. If there's some options that you have. Why did she go to bed and then immediately stop? That was weird. Anyway, so yeah, so this is an example of this. So why don't we actually get into Unity and put some assets in there, and then now that we know that this space works, we can use this as reference. Without stealing the assets, we can use, this is the reference for, like, making a prototype in Unity and then going from there. Alright, so after you get, like, a rough idea of how you think your prototype's going to be, you can go into Unity or Unreal and actually start building it. It's actually pretty simple to make a prototype in either one of these programs. I mean, of course you'd have to figure out the basics of, like, how to move your character around the space and all that, and that is hard. But there is tutorials online on how to do that kind of stuff, and also you can buy things from the asset stores just to build a basic prototype. So the program that I use to make my prototype, and I use this for the game I'm working on right now, I use Adventure Creator. I highly recommend Adventure Creator, especially if you want to do point-and-click adventure games. It is a Unity asset. You can't do it for Unreal, but it has a lot of stuff built into it that just makes developing games significantly easier. I'm not going to have any tutorials on how to use Adventure Creator because the creator himself, his tutorials, you can't get more clear than his tutorials, really. So it's like, I would just advise going to his educational tab on his website and just viewing his videos there. But I highly recommend it. Adventure Creator. The creator's very nice and he'll answer any of your questions. He practically is like the co-creator of my game. He's helped me to that extent. So I did about where I think, where everything's going to be in Dark Smoke's room. I then made everything work through Adventure Creator so that the character can move around. So we're going to play it really fast right here. So it does not have to look pretty. I think you guys will notice that it does not have to look pretty. It doesn't even really have to function that well. I kept the Adventure Creator menu. He goes through the boxes. There's no collisions. You don't really need any of this stuff for the prototype. You can do it if you want, but you really don't need to. And because this is just to get an idea of a rough idea of how you want your whole game to be. And you would ideally do your entire game like this from start to finish so that you really get a strong idea of what you're making. And I do highly advise this. I did not do this with the game that I'm making right now. It was a bad idea. So I do recommend that. But so here you go. And then how to make this prototype. Let's say you don't have Adventure Creator, but you can code. So you would just, in order to make these boxes, let me say that this is a 2D game. You can make a 3D game or a 2D game in Unity. I'm thinking about making Granny Joe into a 2D game. I'm not sure if I will follow up with that. It might be 3D. I'm thinking 2D, so I made the prototype in 2D. Which is why everything's so flat. And there's not that much of a difference as far as creating things go for 3D and 2D, but how you would create a box in 2D, you would just go create 3D object or 2D object. I did 3D because why not? And then you just put cube, and then you get a cube, and then change the color of it. You actually have to make a material, a yellow material. You just create a material by side-clicking, create, where's material? Here it is somewhere. Right there. That's material. So then you would just click that to make a new material, and you can change the color of it over here. You can use standard. I use unlit because unlit makes a flat color. So, and then you just drag it onto the cube, and you have yourself a yellow cube. And then you can size it by clicking one of these buttons up here. I like clicking this one because then, you get more control, and then you would just do all your boxes that way. How I did this box right here, this plane, this asset, not asset, I'm sorry, that's the wrong term. This object is a plane, not a cube. Planes are just flat, flat images. You can make planes through 3D object, plane. Where did it go? Okay, so it's right here. Nope. Oh, that's right, I forget. When you create a plane, a lot of times it's it gets put into the engine horizontal. No, wait. Is it vertical? I always mix up the two. It always puts it in straight up, so then you can't really see it, so you would just do this. And then you just put -90 into the X space thing, word stay. And then you get your plane right here, and then you can edit the plane size. So this is some ways to do your prototype, and again, you really don't have to make it look good. As you can see when I played the game, you saw Ace as a pixel dude. You don't really need to even go that far. You could just do a stick figure. I did the pixel version of them because I did it for fun, and so I said, I just might as well just make that my player image. I don't know if I'm actually gonna go with this look for the game, because it's kind of too cutesy. I don't know if it really works for what I'm going for, but we'll see. I'm not, I'm gonna try out different things. I just did this because I was just curious, but yeah. So I hope that was helpful. In the next video, so I basically showed you like how to basically kind of get started. I taught you how to like make cubes in Unity, like some programs to use to kind of get a rough idea of what you might want to do with your game. In the next video, what I'm going to teach you is, okay, now that you know all this stuff, how do you put it all together? How do you like set up your scene in a way that makes sense to the player? How do you organize? How do you structure your game and all that? And so check that out if you want to know like the next step. Well, not really the next step, but if you want to know some more tips on like how to do level design and all that, check out the next video. Thank you guys. I do hope this was helpful. Please leave questions, and if you have any tutorials you'd like me to do, please leave me a comment or an email or whatever, and I'll get to it. Okay, I'll see you guys. Bye.